Hi, welcome to World Art Day. I'm one of your hosts, Carlene Lavelle, and today we're going to be celebrating the creative works of artists, performers, and creatives all over Long Island. And we're fortunate. Today we have someone who was here last year to give us some more insight into her work and art. Please welcome Lisa Fazio.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. So last time you were here, we had a great time. You let me hold the paintbrush.
No, today I'm going to let you actually touch it on the canvas.
She's going to let me touch it on the canvas.
Because you're ready.
But I mean, you do incredible works of art. So what have you been up to? Because I know you've done a bunch of monumental things.
Thank you. I love to travel, so I've been traveling around to different parts of the country and checking out other artists' work. And I take an uber delicious amount of photographs. So this way I can use them for references when I come back. And New York is still the best place. We have everything in bloom now in Central Park. Anybody who hasn't gotten out there, it is beautiful. You don't have to travel far to see the cherry blossoms. So look around, everything is inspiring this time of the year.
Okay. And so what are we going to do today?
So today we're going to paint some flowers.
All right, let's do it.
So just to give you a little background, so this is oil painting we're doing today, and I have a small sample of the kind of art that I do. Different subjects such as florals, because now it is spring, so we cannot wait to jump into color. Here are some little houses in the Hamptons that when I drive by I take little pictures. And then you have our very favorite Jones Beach. You show that one.
All right, Jones Beach.
Yes. So if that's not inspiring, what is? So today I'm going to show you what an artist carries that does oil painting. They don't dress like this, that's for sure. That's just because I want to look good next to you. I want to look good next to my girlfriend here. So oil painting is kind of messy, but it is very forgiving. Unlike last year, we worked in watercolor, so you have to really honor the white of the paper. Today, you can stain the paper, stain the canvas rather. I have a museum board here. And then if you don't like it, tomorrow you can go over it, just swish it apart. So it's very forgiving. People like that. So oil painting has been around for many, many years. Years ago, they used to crush with powder and make their own oils. In fact, when you travel around the world, you could purchase it that way. You don't have to do that. There's so many delicious colors that you have now that you can buy in a tube. You can mix it yourself. So this is just something that I picked up at either Michael's or AC Moore. It's just a cover. I put a piece of glass on here so I can mix easily. And this does not have my daily pills in it.
Okay.
Don't do that. This has little squirts of oil in here. Let's do it this way.
Like just oil painting.
Right. So the reason why you do this is that instead of carrying the entire tube, which is what you would look like.
Okay,
so you have
there's
tubes
a
of
tip
paint
for us. If you don't want to carry this while you're out and about, you can put them in pill bottles.
Yes, it's my little trick. Yep.
Good repurposing.
So you can put more than, so that here you might have 14 colors. Okay. And the other trick is you take a little cotton ball and you put a little cove oil on here, and that will keep everything a little bit damp for a couple of days.
Okay.
This, believe it or not, you put in a plastic bag and pop in the freezer, and it will keep it. Some artists actually submerge it under water to keep the paint from drying. Because oil paint, it takes like a couple of days, but it forms like a film over it. So these have been poured yesterday, so they're still very, very juicy now.
Okay.
So that's just a little tip for traveling. The other thing I take with me is this tube. Looks pretty worn out. I got this one from the post office, but you can get them at Staples. And this is what you carry your brushes in, because you don't want them to be crushed. The brushes are expensive. The other thing you need to do is care for them gently is after you wash them, after your day's event, you wash them with baby oil, and you keep it in there, kind of like you do in your hair.
Baby oil?
Baby oil,
to
mineral
wash
oil.
Your brushes.
No, first you wash for terp, and then you leave them with baby oil on them overnight, and this way the brush itself stays moist. Because look, otherwise it will be stiff.
I have a question for you, and I'm not the art enthusiast that I may look like. I hope today. So last time you were here, you did watercolor as for painting, and so now we're doing oil. So you wouldn't use these brushes for water painting. You don't mix your brushes.
Right. Right, because it's almost like oil and vinegar, because it would be nasty, because the oil residue would be on here. And besides, the length of the stem of the brush is a little bit different as well. Here it's a little bit further away, because you have sort of using your whole arm, and watercolor you're a little closer. It's a little bit different. also I like to use synthetic brushes. You can use real hair brushes, but I like the synthetic because they hold their shape better. And I think last year I said that too as well. I like the synthetic. I'm a flat brush painter. They come in different sizes, the brushes, and this is called flat brush. See the little sizes here?
Let's see. So flat brushes. I don't know if you guys can see that.
I'm cleaning you up already, girlfriend.
I'm already getting dirty. I haven't even started.
She's already starting. Oy vey.
So flat. Okay.
She's starting.
I came ready. I think I might get real messy before I even get to the board. But that's okay.
Yep, it is. We're going to turn this upside. You have wipes there.
Perfect.
Okay, well, you can, and then the other handy thing, you can, well, you can't show, but handy wipes. You have to always carry some type of wipes with you.
Handy wipes.
Yeah, because you're going to get it all over yourself. And the other little cool trick I can tell you is Dawn, am I allowed to say it, dishwashing liquid, because you know how the animals, they get the oil on their body in the ocean? That's what they use. So, hello, that comes out of our clothes and our hands. So that's what you can use to clean yourself up as well, the Dawn. So that's sort of brushes, the paints, there's different brands, so you have to pick what you fall in love with. And then your little bucket here to carry your turp. Lots and lots of paper towels. I like to have a little thick paper towel, and then your source of inspiration. So I have taken photographs of different sunflowers.
Beautiful.
That's like a whole day of photographing, because they fade pretty fast, the flowers. So you can purchase them fresh.
Did you set these pictures yourself?
Yeah, in the sun. Wait till the sun is setting.
These are gorgeous.
Just by themselves, they're pretty, right? But they're forms of inspiration. So today's inspiration is really based upon this frame here. Believe it or not. I bought this frame, and it's kind of funky, and I was like, what is going to go in this thing? It looks like it has chickenpox. So I kind of figured out the color scheme of what would look good in here. The blue is not going to stay there. That's just a color that peeks through at the end. So I liked this concept. If I show you this one, you hold that.
Hold that one.
I like these colors in this frame. See it?
Yes.
So I'm going to create it to match that size.
Okay.
But I'm going to change it up a little bit. So I'm using this for inspiration. I'm using the photograph and those colors. So that's how I'm going to start. All right, so the next thing you do is you stain the background. This is just acrylic paint. It's kind of just so you don't really want to work on white. It's too stalking. And if a little bit of this blue shows in, it's kind of nice. I did a very loose sketch with the oil painting this morning. So watch, if I made it, oh, I don't like this, oop. You just rub it out, and it will come out. Okay, because it's oil. And if
This is what I need. Paint that erases. We're going somewhere.
Okay, so the first thing you want to do is get the lay of the land here. And figure out what the shapes are. So I would like to get in, again, because I do like to work. This is sort of like what I did to you last year. I didn't really show you. I like to work from my imagination. The only thing I like to do is figure out, I'm squinting, getting my wrinkles back again. I want to make sure that I have some lights here. So I do like this kind of yellowy, kind of orangey kind of color that comes in on these sunflowers. And I'm trying to figure out, see how there's a little bit of yellow here and the orange here? You can hold that. So what I'm trying to do is see how far up I want to come in this space here. And again, you can paint this and say, you know what, I love this color, yellow. So now, because I have this paint on my brush, this color, where else is it in the painting? So I can put a little bit here.
And is that something you want to do when you have like excess paint, if you, I mean oil painting, that if you can use it in other aspects?
Yes and no, because this is only our first layer, so when I put the second layer on, it's going to blend on the canvas, and then this is a dirty brush. So in order to make clean colors, remember, like if you had painted in a dark, let's say I had decided to paint green here, and now I'm going to touch this, it's going to get green. So you have to keep washing. In this case, you're just wiping it off. So what I'm going to do is dig in here for some paint, and then I'm going to have you just for fun. Because this is a lighter yellow, so put maybe a lighter yellow here, just so that you can feel what the consistency feels like. Don't get too nervous.
I'm a little nervous.
No, pretend it's like putting lipstick on.
Oh, well, alrighty. So just right here? Okay.
Yay!
I did it! I did it!
It's, you know what, it's like driving and you hit the curb and you want to know what the curb feels like. You just did it. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
I hit the curb.
If that's what you think, that's great.
And it felt smooth.
It did feel smooth. Now, the thing I forgot to do was add a little bit of white in, so the blue is coming through on the bottom. So now it's a little brighter. See, so it's really about layering, and it's very relaxing, very zen-like painting. Did you paint as a child at all, or?
Stick figures. That's my safe space.
You don't even doodle? Come on.
I doodled. I doodled, you know, in class, but they're very boxy shapes. Like, I'm too afraid to go circular. I think I'm going to end up in some foreign space outside of the paper.
Well, let me ask you this. When you go picking out a shirt and has a pattern, do you tend to pick something that's geometric shapes, or are they circular?
That's a good question. I think they're geometric.
Okay, so then that's why you like stick figures, because it's straight lines. There, in the world, there are shapes everywhere, and so first thing I teach is I make you a shape maker, and first you're looking around, so you have the edge of the TV here. So there are really no. We're the only circular beings in this space, right? Curvatures. We're here.
Hello.
So that's why your eye is drawn to us, because we're moving and because we're a different shape than everything else around you. So in this, the same thing. You want to have a little bit of circular shapes, and then you're having your angle line. So I was trying to present this as possibly a window edge. So that's what makes it really nice creative painting. The other thing about my work, this is really bright, and I love bright because we have just come out of winter, so why not have some brightness? So basically I tell people they paint according to their style of their life. So I'm very bold, and so my work is going to be bold. If you're a little timid, your work is going to be a little timid. And there's nothing wrong. We're not saying one is better than the other. So my light is coming from underneath. I think I'm going to, I don't know, I'm making this up as I go along. I think I'm going to put a little bit of white here to indicate on this one it has white coming here. I just want to see where I am. I'm looking at this picture in the front. There's another one that's multicolor. You could grab that one. That was my other source of inspiration. I like that one a lot.
And how long does it take for oil paintings to dry?
Depending upon how thick, it could take about a week,
Wow.
if not more. Yeah, and then you have to layer it with different glosses in order to bring the deliciousness of the color out. And what makes this one really nice is the different variations of brush strokes in here and the colors. You want to kind of have what I call like a color change every few inches, so that the painting is just as interesting up here as it is down there. Isn't that sort of like when we go shopping and we put an outfit on, you want to have the whole ensemble look good?
Yes.
Otherwise, you're the girl who has the mirror, just half mirrors in the house, because you only
Yes.
like the top half.
Yes.
So you want to embrace the entire shape.
Now I have another art question. Okay, so last year, so clearly I have been watching Lisa's videos several times from our last art day, trying to get my stick figure game up. And I remember doing our watercolors, one of the techniques you used, not during the show, but you mentioned, was that every so often you'd have a blow dryer to dry out the paper. Now with oil paintings, are you able to do the same with heat, or that would be like dangerous?
You don't have to do that. With watercolor, the color changes when it dries. So when you're first painting, it's sort of like the rocks at the ocean. When you see them underneath the water, you're like, oh, they're so beautiful. But then when they dry out, it's another color.
Yes.
Same concept. So watercolor is the same thing. With oils, they tend to retain their color. They can change a little bit as maybe their darkness will fade a little bit, and then you put in the varnish and it would be fine. But for the most part, it keeps its colors. I find that after I look at a painting the next day, it looks different to me because they call it it's painting itself. So either it improves or you find something that you're like, I need to change it. So for the most part, if I finish a painting on site, I like to give it a day rest so I can see if I want to change anything on it. But I've already, painted on location, and someone would say, I just want it exactly the way that is. Please don't change it. So I'm like, okay. So it's really personal preference, but you do not need to answer your question, you do not need a blow dryer for this. No, and do not do that.
Okay.
That's for your hair, girlfriend. Just use that.
Just for my hair.
So that's that. What else can I tell you? So you can do a lot of sketching. Here, let me let you do the middle. Everybody always is dying to do the middle when they do it's like when you're doing someone's face, you're dying to put the eyelashes in. I want to put the eyelashes in. You don't have to do that. So let's give this a little, see how there's a little dark center? Each sunflower has a different middle.
Okay.
if you didn't know that. Well, these two, did you know there's a bunch of variety of sunflowers out?
Nope.
Okay. And besides, we're an artist. We can do whatever we want anyway.
Exactly.
All right, so you're just going to put a couple of dabs in the middle here.
All right, here we go, people.
This is like bullseye. Are you good at shooting too?
Well, depends on my target. Depends on my target.
That's good. That's good. I like it a lot. So now do this. Let's change it up.
Okay.
Now you want to always make it a little different than the family next to it. So maybe we're going to add, I added blue.
We added blue.
So just do a touch.
Okay. Just a touch.
Just do here like a C shape. You don't want to be married. You don't want to have two circles here.
Now we're moving into C's. Okay. All right.
You're just kind of making a highlight. Okay, that's good. Now, I want you to try to make it in small strokes, because now it looks like, because look, if I did this, yay. We don't want to make a happy face.
Okay.
So just go like this, look, short strokes.
Okay. A dab.
Like a dab. Now I just, a dab. So I just tainted it. I had to go back and retouch it again. All right, so just little touches.
Okay.
Same spot. So, because I don't want to see the brush stroke. Yeah. There, look, it looks like the texture of the middle of a flower. Okay, wait. All right, you lost the C, but that's okay.
So, Lisa, I know you're doing this with me, but you also do this in your workshops, right?
Yes, I do, and I'm very comical there too. I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's okay.
Because you know what? I just think that you need to relax, and people need to have fun. I mean, it doesn't have, because you know why, you're very critical of yourself. It's very easy to say, you know, blah blah blah. And I said to people, look, you came out today, you put yourself together. Yay, you did that. Like, have confidence that you know you can do the next best thing. All right, that may not be perfect. Then I'll try. What did I like? You did a good job on this, and then you just keep improving on that. Okay, so you have to just keep trying.
What is the biggest obstacle in terms of when people come to your class for the first time, or come to any art class for the first time? What's the biggest hurdle, obstacle they need to get through to really enjoy this?
They don't think they have all the tools. They think that they're not good enough. You have to think first grade. You have to think going in there and just having fun and not worrying about the end results. You know, I want to have a pretty picture. Does a little kindergarten person say that? No, give me the paint, I'm going to squish my fingers in and just have a whole bunch of fun. That's what you want to do. So you want to just have you just want to have a little bit of fun. So what I'm doing is lightening up. So you did the C here. See, again, I'm squinting my eyes. You want Botox with me, girl? So just squint your eyes. Because you're looking at...
Am I squinting enough?
You want to just have the values be a little bit different. So let me throw in some little bit bolder paint here. So bigger brush strokes, I should say, so that this way the viewer can see. We're going to get out of our yellows.
Okay.
And let's get into the other shapes around here. So what would I do next? I want to put in some darks, and I want to put in some color in the background. So let's have some fun. I'm going to say this is that's dark there, that's greenish. I was going to say this was window, because I kind of like that on that other painting. Okay. So let's make the color of wood.
You just
here we're gonna
yellow and
mix a lot of different things here.
I'm gonna need a chart.
Actually, some people take photographs of the palette when you're done, because this looks just as pretty as the art. That's how you know if the art's gonna look good, I guess. All right, so this is the color of the wood. So are you good at making straight lines? You said you did stick figures.
All right.
Okay, if you did.
This is my call. This is my
okay, so here's the line. So I'm indicating that this is. I'll make another line here. This is the line of. So you're gonna make it thick. So let me look at that picture. Go around, look at that.
Okay.
So that's what you're in.
So making this line?
And the one on top.
This one and that one.
Oh, I put it over here on this drawing. And then you can make this one going down too. Let's see
so
how
just go over it thick.
So watch, you decide whether you want to go with this direction or this direction.
Oh.
Oh, decisions. Oh. Decisions. How many decisions do you make when you're painting?
Okay. Okay. All right. Here I go, world. Where's the rest of my...
It's fine.
Okay.
Okay, do that one now. Okay, now do this one going down, but I would do it skinny.
Okay.
Can you? Now, did you see what we were talking about? That if you drag the green in, then the brush gets dirty. When you had asked me and I said, oh, you have to... That's good. All right, so I'm wiping the brush off.
See that right there? That was me. That's my contribution.
So I'm going to paint around that. Yay, you did it.
Do you like my stick figures?
Oh my God.
Like, do you see the intensity of the lines? Like,
See, this is interesting that you just said that's your line. Is that when I paint with a client or class, I don't like to touch their work because then this is what they do. They paint the whole painting and they go, they'll say, teacher, come help me fix this, and then I'll fix it, and they'll say, I did everything except this line, and then that's sad. So I try not to touch, as a teacher, I try not to touch the work because then I want you to feel empowered. If it's not a perfect line, so what? Then it's not a perfect line. I mean, your eyebrows don't match, your hair's not the same on either side. You have to get over that perfectness. I'm sorry, I'm just telling it like it is. It's just the way it is.
Speaking the truth.
Speaking the truth. Speaking the truth. This is how life is. All right, so let's put in some bright blue to say that this is the outside.
I like this blue.
Isn't it? It's sky blue.
Gorgeous.
It's a sky blue. I did taint it a little, but that's okay. Could be a gray day. So that would be the shape here and here.
So one of the things I noticed is that, I know we talked about
Creamy. I love it. Go ahead.
not tainting, right? So is that, you're not drawing entirely in there. How do you feel? Do you feel it at the end, or?
Well, I'm going to probably add another color on top, maybe when it's not as juicy.
Okay.
I'll let it dry a little bit.
I love that you call it like juicy.
Everything is like referred to like for food for
I
me.
love
I don't
that.
tell you, or your
Juicy,
clothes or whatever.
sweet. Hey.
Yeah. I think that's too dark. So I'll just add some paint to it. I wanted to have some variations in blue because if it's outside, it's not a perfectly blue day. All right, so that indicates, so for the line that you put in, if you step back, it's very predominant. So we're going to make it blend in by giving it a shadow.
Okay. How do we give shadows?
You're going to just go like this, right over it. Just going to soften it a little bit. And I don't, I'm not so bent on what's the color going to be. See, look, it's blending. All the colors that are on my palette are all the colors that are in this painting. So it can't be wrong.
Right.
Because I'm already started with that. So that just toned it down a little bit. Let's see, if I indicate this is the side of the table, something like this. All right, so let's get in. It looks very abstract. That's okay. Let's get some fun in here. I'm going to put in just a little hint of purple. I'm going to put a little hint of purple in here, just so that it says pop in colors a little bit. It's going to be very sharp. I get my yellow in there, the other secondary, there's another flower, it's 3. Do you have pillows on your sofa?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so people, you put pillows in 3s because it's groupings.
Yes.
So you don't really want to just have 2 flowers. I'm just going to indicate another possible flower here. I kind of like this orangey color.
At least I'm having a wonderful time here. And I feel like I've graduated since, since last year. Like now I'm actually painting with her. Like I'm leveling up. Now, for anyone who wants to follow up and just kind of know what you're doing, where would they go? I know we're not done yet, but.
On my website, lisafazioartist.com is where you would go. I have all, you can either email me and get on my newsletter. I'm in several local galleries. I'm always doing demonstrations nationwide. So it changes and fluctuates. So if you get on the newsletter, you'll get all the information, and it'll be great.
Any upcoming dates locally?
You threw me that when I just came in this morning. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm doing a lot of outside workshops, and I change them from month to month. So I do a lot of also spiritual workshops where we do meditation with art. Because you want to kind of relate, let's say if you're really into flowers or nature, like I would like to do one where we do a nature walk, and then we're going to take photographs and use your iPhone and learn how to be more creative with your iPhone, because people all have a phone, right?
Yeah.
So why not learn how to take the best picture ever?
Yeah.
And then work a painting from that. So it's good. The other thing I wanted to mention before I forget.
Please.
Is you need to have your handy sketchbook. I showed you this last year.
Yes.
So everything is in bloom this time of the year. So this one is at our local place, Clark Gardens, Old Westbury. This is Old Westbury here. So I might go on location to sketch, and then this is Old Westbury, and I'll paint that after. So this took a lot of time. It's a lot of colors.
And a lot of small brushes, I assume.
You look at that, you already like the artist. You know what to look for and appreciate. See that? Look at that. It's rubbing off on you.
All you, leveling me up.
And the other thing you could do is pick up some magazines, and here we'll have local artists' shows or workshop. You have the these different ones. Look at the colors on this. Sometimes you just get these magazines because they're just so beautiful. And I keep them for forever, so these are probably even dated, but I just threw them out here. So if you love landscape, go grab landscape ones.
So landscaping, we have food. This would be mine right here.
I know you mentioned that last year.
Food would be all of mine.
And shoes, you mentioned.
And shoes. You remember?
Yes, I do.
Yes. But I came ready. I came in the PATV smock, so we brought the shoes down so I could be on the level. But next time, I think next year, we do shoes if that's possible.
Yes, I'll see.
We'll see.
You're going to model.
Well, I can do that too. So one more time, before we get out of here, give us your website again.
It's Lisa Fazio Artist. .com, and I'm also on Facebook and Instagram. Follow me there because I'll do little short videos and demos on there as well.
Okay.
And you can follow along what I'm doing because I also do volunteer work, so it shows you what I'm getting involved with in the community. A lot of fun stuff.
I hate that we're running out of time and having so much fun, but before we go, I have to do this for that person out there who's like, you know what, I want to do this. What are the 3 tips or guides to get them started?
Number 1 is go to the art store and just touch all the supplies. See what really, just see what resonates with you. They have little pieces of paper. You can grab something and try it out. They also have demonstrations there. The art leagues also have sometimes free demonstrations. So see what it is that you like. YouTube, Google it. So that would be viewing first. The next is to get your hands on it. Pick up a small sketchbook.
Here,
put it away. Yeah, over here, a little sketchbook. Well, this is a professional one. I do this because it fits in my backpack and it's about the right weight that I need. But they have all kinds of papers, and the watercolor is nice because it doesn't cost a lot of money. It doesn't get on your clothes. But just get a small beginner set, and then go get inspired. I mean, this to me is the most inspiring time of the year. Go get inspired. And like I said, use your phone for inspiration. Use your sketchbook for inspiration. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just for you. It's like singing in the car. No one has to hear you. It's just for you.
I think that's wonderful advice. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for asking me back.
Yeah,
Yay.
I think we're going to finish this painting while you guys are catching up with other programming. So I'm going to turn it over to Lori and our team, and I'll see you right back here in a few.
Thank you.